This is Breakfast with James Valentine on ABC Radio Sydney.
Well, this is perhaps, taking the homework and homeschool to its most extreme. Lauren Costin is the mother and a homeschool teacher of children Stanley and Malaki. And this family is now travelling around Australia, but this was to try and help their son Stanley. Stanley's diagnosed with autism and was struggling enormously at school. So they started to homeschool and then thought, well, why just stay there? They've been travelling since December, and the challenges revealed some interesting results. I spoke to her the other day, and she was between homeschooling classes on a beach in central Queensland.
We basically enrolled our son into school. He has autism and ADHD, and it didn't go very well. We were basically told they couldn't cope, and that it was an 18-month wait to get him into a special unit. So the only other option for us at that time was to homeschool him. So we took him out and we homeschooled him. And then I looked at my husband and I said, why are we on this hamster wheel of life? We're just in this house. We've moved to this area just so we could go to that school. Why don't we just go and buy a caravan and travel around Australia? He basically told me, if you can do it by November, do it.
Okay, so you had to get it all together. So you've been travelling since last November. And in practical terms, did you both have to leave jobs, or are you able to work from where you are and things as well?
I don't work, but my husband does mine work, so he's able to fly in or drive out wherever we are.
How interesting, yeah. So you don't have to be there, you can kind of be anywhere. And what has this meant for Stanley, isn't it? Stanley's age 6 now?
He's absolutely thrived with his new lifestyle. Before, we were basically even leaving the house was a complete nightmare. We'd have lots of meltdowns, and basically because he couldn't control anything. Within the autism, he likes to control everything. So if we're in the car, we have to have the sat-nav on so he can see how far we're going and how long it's going to take. But since we've been on the road, the meltdowns have reduced dramatically, and he's really up for doing lots of things that are out of his comfort zone. He recently took up snorkeling, which before that, he was having swimming lessons, and he would scream and just hold on to the swimming instructor and not actually swim. And now he's in the sea with his snorkel on trying to find fish.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's great. And what do you think it is? What's your observation about what home and school meant to him and what is going on now?
I think home was very much his safe space. And the caravan has created that safe space, so it doesn't matter where we are or what we're doing, he still has that safe space. Whereas if before we'd gone away for the weekend, even if we came back to the hotel room, that wasn't his safe space. So maybe everything was just building up, so when we were at home it was getting released with anxiety and things. But I feel like he now just thrives. He just literally has this new lease of life where he's so excited wherever we are to go and see different things, and it actually gives him the ability to pick a lot of the things that he would like to learn too along the way.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Because as you say, home's a safe space, or it wouldn't seem to me that if you throw an autistic kid into an environment that's changing all the time or is going to be unexpected, that would be the right thing to do.
I was exactly the same as you. When we first did this, I was so scared. I thought, what if I mess my children up? That's what I was thinking. But like I said, I think because the caravan is the safe space now and it's constantly with us, he doesn't mind seeing new things or doing new things or learning new things because his home is still very close.
Yeah.
So I do think that because you can travel, you can see things and you can do things when it's quiet, it gives them more of a chance to come out of their shell.
Yeah. What's it meant for you? This is such a commitment.
It's actually been rewarding for me to see them grow as much as they have, because I remember especially being back in Sydney crying most days and thinking, I just don't know how to make things better for them and for all of us. But since we've been on the road, they've grown so much, so I've loved it, and it's made me, I think, a better parent, in that you can kind of go where your child wants to go. You can be led by them rather than just constantly telling them how things have to be and being a bit of a dictator, I guess.
Yeah. You've said they a couple of times. It's Stanley and Maliki, is that right? She's age 4. How's she coping?
Yeah, she loves it. She's very funny. She loves to do everything her brother's doing. And she joins in with homeschool, and she knows all her sight words, her numbers. She can write a whole sentence herself and read books. So if anything, she's thriving like Stanley, and we're kind of concerned we might have to start kindergarten early with her, otherwise
Right.
she might be a bit bored.
Yeah. Now I imagine you're scared to come back. Do you think this is life now for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think definitely for a while, and maybe until the children are a bit bigger. They might want to go to school, ask us to go to school, and then that's absolutely fine. We can settle down and they can go to school.
Yeah, fantastic. And you're seeing all of Australia.
Exactly, and there's no limit to how long that's going to take.
Laura, it sounds incredibly bold, and then I think we're sort of all, we're listening to this at the start of a busy Sydney day going, I'm a bit jealous of that. That sounds great.
It's definitely something I'd highly recommend.
Yeah.
It's character building, I think.
Laura, fantastic to meet you. All the best to you and Stanley and Maliki, and husband Stan as well. Thank you so much for telling us all about it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us and share our journey.
Laura Costin out around Australia with her 2 autistic children, and as he says, they're apparently thriving in that environment. That's fantastic.
This is Breakfast with James Valentine on ABC Radio Sydney.
Well, this is perhaps taking the home work and homeschool to its most extreme. Lauren Costin is the mother and a homeschool teacher of children